Hi, welcome. Welcome if you're new here. I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time writing instructor and a part-time content creator and indie author. Welcome back if you are one of my lovely returning friends. It is great to have you all here. Where is my coffee? I need my coffee. Eagle-eyed viewers might notice there have been some changes around here. I am still getting used to them and it's still in progress. It's not done, which is why you haven't seen any kind of special vlog for that. That's what I was starting to film earlier. Yeah, we're trying out something new. Still not sure how I feel about it. It's still not done. It's still a mess. It's still chaotic. It's less chaotic now than it was last night. The ADD, ADHD urge to just have a drastic change kicked in at about 5:30 last night. And I thought, I'm just gonna start 30 minutes. We'll see how far I get. I'm just gonna start. So yeah, but I do now have, I'll show you this sneak peek. I do now have an L-shaped desk. This was also kicked off partly with what today's topic of the video is going to be. Before we get too far in, what have you clicked onto? The title should have given you a clue, but basically, as you are watching this, it is Friday. Camp Nano for July starts tomorrow, if you are watching this video on the day that it goes up. As I'm filming this, I have a week. It's Monday. I have until Saturday before Camp Nano starts. I needed to have this video filmed before Friday because this is the last day of June, literally, but it's the last day that I can put up a preparing for a Camp Nano vlog. I'm in a mood, y'all. I don't know what's going on. My brain is not fully functioning. It's 3 in the afternoon. I do have a mug of caffeinated coffee. It's an iced brew, cold brew. So I've only got about that much coffee in it, and then the rest of it's milk. So I've got myself a lovely cold brew latte. Can you do a latte if it's cold brew coffee? It is an espresso mix. Focus, Andrea. I swear this vlog is gonna be like follow the bouncing ball of Andrea's bouncing thoughts. Camp Nano. That's what we're doing. I didn't even make a list. I'm gonna start with the things I know I need to do, and then Wednesday we'll do the things that I forgot to do today. I need to set up a project in Babisco, and I need to set up a project in Scrivener. I need to print off pages for July in my planner, and I need to print off the Camp Nano workbook that I'm going to use. So my printer is now in a new spot. It is now behind me instead of beside me, so this will be the first time I'm using it. My cable should stretch plenty, but yeah, I need to get sorted and ready for camp. So let me print stuff out first, because I know I need to do that. Let me get my brain to just chill out a little bit. I've also got some macarons from Whole Foods. I've got a coffee flavored one and a salted caramel one, so I'm gonna have that with my coffee. Let's get some stuff printed out, and hopefully my brain will like chill out so that I can focus and talk. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath. Okay, so I now have all of my July weekly pages, and I have my Camp Nano. I should probably put, so I've got the Camp Nano workbook, and then I've got my personal writing tracker, project tracker. I should probably put this before the workbook, because I do need to access that page on a semi-regular basis, mostly daily, if not actually daily, because that page, my personal writing tracker, is what I will be tracking all of my project progress in throughout the month. The Camp Nano workbook will just be my progress on my Nano project. So I'm using, once again, Sarah Cannon's from the channel Sarah Cannon from the channel Heart Breathings. I am doubting everything today. Yes, Heart Breathings. It says so on the cover. Sarah Cannon, every Nano camp or the main event, puts together a fantastic workbook that is free to download. You just have to sign up for her newsletter. As a writer and as a published publishing author, I think it's worth signing up for her newsletter. She's one of the first indie authors whose newsletter I signed up for. She has a ton of fantastic free resources. I don't know her personally. She doesn't know I exist. She's not paying me or sponsoring me or anything to say this. And I know a lot of you already know about her, because I can tell from my YouTube analytics. A lot of my viewers also watch her channel. But for those who don't know, I would recommend heading over to her channel, Heart Breathings. She should have a link to sign up for her newsletter in the description box. She has a massive library of free resources, especially if you are really early on as a writer starting out. Yeah, I'm using her workbook for, is this the 4th or 5th time? Yeah, that's the workbook that I'm using, and I'm excited to get that set up. I need to get this week set up in my planner, and then I think tomorrow, while I'm at my parents' house, I might start setting up, I can also do this on Wednesday. I need to set up July and just think about July goals. We might do more of that on July 1st, on the first day of camp. So I will be vlogging that day, and that will be the next vlog you watch after that. So I'm gonna have a quick turnaround time on that. I think I'm gonna vlog the first 2 days separately. So day 1 of camp will go up on Monday, July 3rd, and day 2 of camp will go up on Wednesday, July 5th. And then we'll start lumping days together. So what you can expect, and then we'll talk about my project. What you can expect from the vlogs is pretty much like what you saw during April. I will try to vlog something from every writing session each day, but I'm still gonna upload 3 days a week. So I'm not gonna increase my uploads. I once upon a time thought, wouldn't it be fun to like vlog every day in July like I do at Vlogmas? But for Camp Nano, it's not gonna happen. Not this year. I wish, but no. That would definitely defeat the purpose of trying to rest in July. I will be vlogging. I will vlog as much of the writing sessions, if not a little bit of every writing session, and each vlog will give you an update on how much I've written since the last vlog. Like, you won't miss anything in that respect. I will definitely be posting daily as much as possible on my author Instagram account, so at Andrea Severson. I will definitely post like my writing tracker stats, my target box from Scrivener, like I've been posting every other day. Those will do all that. So if you want to keep up with me on a more day-to-day basis, you can follow me on there if you aren't already, and that's where you can kind of see on a more updated basis how much I'm writing each day. So yeah, I think I can commit to posting on Instagram every day. I just can't manage daily vlogging outside of Vlogmas. There's something about Vlogmas and the magic of Christmas that just gets me going, but I don't know that I would love to do daily vlogging for camp in July, because I'm on break and I could theoretically handle it. I just know that right now, physically and mentally, I'm still so worn out. I just don't think I can commit to it this year. But yeah, so that's what you can expect from the vlogs. As for the project I have mentioned is going to be Across the Pond 5. So why am I choosing to do that? And why do I feel a little bit hesitant? It's not necessarily the best idea, but I can't help myself. I would normally never start writing the next book in a series while I'm still developmental editing the previous book. So I'm still doing developmental edits for book 4, which is going to be Celeste's story. I'm not going to tell you yet who book 5 is. I'm going to keep that under wraps for now, but I have announced that book 4 is Celeste and Jonathan, so I can tell you that much. So I'm still editing book 4, and editing for that is going well. The editing is going to be an unofficial part of Camp Nano. So July in general, I'm just going to be working on everything. From an editing... I think I have ducks or geese living on my roof. I don't know if you heard that over the sound of the air conditioning, but there was something actually honking out there. I can hear them. They're up on the chimney, on the roof, and so it travels down through the flue, and I can hear it through the fireplace. I woke up to that. Like, I didn't hear it while I was sleeping because I had my earplugs in. This is the first time I've heard them in a few hours, though. At first I thought it was like a crow or something, and then I heard what sounded like a quack, but that sounds more like a goose honk. I don't know what is going on. Usually it's pigeons up there. So I don't know what kind of bird has moved in. I hope it's temporary, and I hope they don't do that at night. I don't know if something is like migrating back north or something. That's weird. I'm sorry if you could hear that, and it's definitely distracted me. Camp Nano projects, July projects in general. We'll talk more about this on Monday, but in general, I need to be working on all of my projects. July needs to be just a super productive book month. So like May, I was doing nothing. May, I just completely slowed down to 0, like less than 0. I was rolling backwards. Like I completely stalled out, engine cut, and I was rolling backwards in May. That's how chilled out I got. June, we kind of got the engine turned back on, eased our foot onto the gas pedal, and started inching forward. I feel like I'm now getting pretty much like up to speed for how I want to be throughout the rest of the summer. Like I'm finding a good middle ground where I'm getting rest, I'm sleeping in, I'm relaxing, I'm going to the pool, I'm reading lots of books, I'm watching lots of TV, life is great, but I'm also still getting book stuff done. And I'm getting my brain to cooperate most of the time, and I can kind of convince myself that I just need to put in like 2 or 3 hours of work, and that's really all I need to get a lot of work done. So I'm not getting paralyzed by the feeling of I have to work for several hours a day, because that's just not going to happen this summer. It's happened in previous summers, but not this summer. So we've kind of started moving again in June, and I've gotten up to speed. And now July, I need to start like staying at that speed, but like cruise control. Like I'm gonna still be relaxed, it's gonna be easy, but we're gonna maintain the speed that I've gotten up to and just get more work done. So I'm gonna start editing Independent Hearts 3 because I just finished that. You'll have seen that in a previous vlog. So I'm gonna start editing that. I'm gonna keep editing Across the Pond 4. We're gonna kind of let Independent Hearts leapfrog over Across the Pond 4. IH3 is gonna be the priority over ATP 4. And that's fine because I want to publish that one first. Royal Romance, I'm still going to be working on editing that. I think I'm going to let myself do like 20 or 30 minutes a day. It's definitely lower on the priority list, but I still want to work on it. That one will be the third in line to be published. Then we're going to start writing Across the Pond 5. As far as Across the Pond 5, as I said, I wouldn't normally start writing the next book in a series while still editing, developmental editing, the previous one. Usually I wait until, like normally I would wait until Across the Pond 4 is all edited, copy edited, proofread, formatted, cover done, everything done, submitted to KDP, and just waiting on my proof copy. That's when I usually let myself start outlining the next book. That's what I've done with all of my other books. But this one is different, and I don't know why, but Across the Pond 5 has just been info dumping into my brain on a near daily basis. It will not leave me alone. I have become borderline possessed with this story, and I know if I don't start writing it down, usually at this stage where I'm still working on the previous book, usually at this stage, I'll have a little nugget of an idea for the next book. And so I'm thinking about that, and I'm turning it over in my head, and I'm thinking about different things, but it's still this like little nugget of an idea. And then by the time the previous book is being submitted to KDP and it's like truly off my hands and it's just countdown to launch, usually by that time I'm starting to get a few more ideas, and it feels like, okay, now is the perfect time to start outlining it. That's not been the case this time. This time I'm getting scene ideas, dialogue ideas, like it's multiple scenes, it's multiple conversations, whole characters. So I'm gonna let myself start writing it. I think another thing I need to do in July is go back and reread the first 3 books, because I think that will help me with both outlining and starting to write book 5, but also with editing book 4. So we'll add that to the list of things to do in July. So yes, that's kind of the project, what I'm going to be working on. Let me get some more work done. Let's start setting up Babisco and maybe get Scrivener set up. I think I want to do a new theme in Scrivener. I don't think it needs to be that much more different than the Across the Pond theme I've been working with, but I might just change the background image. I think the rest of it can stay the same, but I think I want a different background image, because I've used the same theme for the first 4 Across the Pond books, and I kind of like having a different Scrivener theme for each of my projects, so I think it's time. So let's do some work in Babisco and Scrivener, and then we'll talk more about the project. Okay, I think I have reached the end of what I wanted to work on today. But one thing I know I did want to talk about in this vlog is my advice for camp, because and some of my goals, because I am going into this with a very different perspective. So I've learned a lot doing 3 camps and 2 main events. So I did November 21, April, July, and November of 22, and I won all 3 of those. I met and exceeded my goals each time. And then I did camp in April and won that. Winning in camps isn't as impressive because I set lower goals. I'm still really proud of myself for winning in November. not only winning but exceeding, but I have no desire to repeat that happening. So we're not aiming for that in this. We're aiming, I haven't set a specific goal, but I think it's going to be closer to like 20,000. So I'm doing an intentionally lower goal than I have in the past because I'm going to be outlining, not writing. So it's going to take me, like, I can outline 600 something words in the same time it would take me to write 1,000 words. But I have set a goal in Scrivener of 110,000 words because I can't stick to under that. Book 4 ended up being 110,887. So I do think that book 5 will probably be around that same space. So I'm going to put 110 for now. I've set February 24th, my birthday of next year, as my deadline, because this doesn't need to be finished soon. My other projects are still the priority because I want to get those published first. This won't need to be published until like a year after book 4 comes out, and if book 4 doesn't come out until December or January, I have until next December or January 25 to publish it. So I can take until February to finish this one because I'm starting it so early. So by writing 5 days a week, which I'll be working on it 7 days a week throughout July. For now, I've just got it set for 5 days a week. But my daily goal in Scrivener is 628. And if I'm writing every day, that's gonna come down. So I'm happy with that because that's where I want it to be. And then that means by the end of camp, it'll probably be down to like 400 words a day that I need, and that will be perfect for throughout autumn and winter. And I think there'll be still time to, it'll probably still be done early, and so I can move that deadline up if I want to, or if I end up taking a week or 2 off at some point this autumn, it'll still keep that word goal in a nice, happy place. So I have set that goal, but I'm still thinking about my goal for July and for camp. So rules going forward, how I'm approaching camp this month. Low word goal overall for the month and low word goal per day. We're not aiming for anything intense. We're just aiming on a daily writing practice and continuing to write every day because I am happiest when I am writing something consistently. It doesn't have to be every day, but Monday through Friday for sure. So I think that's another thing. I might not write every day. I'm not aiming for badges. Been there, done that. Got all the badges in November. I don't need to repeat that. So we're not aiming for badges. If I don't upload or if I don't update my word count every day, that's fine. Or if some days I only do 100 words, that's fine too. Again, being that this is an outlining project, it's going to feel different. So I'm not pushing myself to meet any certain daily goal if I don't feel like it. It's just, it purely is about the joy of writing. That is all I'm focusing on for camp this month. Last year for July, as you heard me say, I went really intense. I went all out. I really wanted to see how much can I write in one day or in 1 month when I don't have my full-time job and all these other things. And it burned me out a bit. It wasn't too bad. November burned me out the most. I don't do well when I'm writing that much on a daily basis for a whole month straight. I might let myself have a day where, you know, during camp where we do try for another 5K day or maybe a 10K weekend or something like that, just for funsies to see, but that's not really going to be the focus because editing is going to be the main focus. So I'll have my unofficial camp goals will also be to make a huge amount of progress on editing. But I want to use camp and I want to use this project as a way of having a no stress, low pressure kind of a thing to keep writing every day or almost every day and to keep my brain in that creative, generative space because I find that when I'm only focused on editing or copy editing or proofreading, which hopefully by the end of the summer I'll be nearing the copy editing stage for at least Independent Hearts. And when I'm just doing those things and I'm not writing, and this has happened once or twice in the past where I have projects that are in the editing and copy editing stage and I'm done writing things for a moment, I don't have a writing project, I get really cranky and just irritated and tense, and it's not good. I love writing. I have to always be writing something or outlining something. Outlining and writing are kind of in the same space, I think, because my outlining process is much more of like a discovery writing process. I'm writing, my zero draft, if you will, is a 20K word version of my story in half sentences and fragments of ideas. It's not what I think most people think of as an outline. So outlining and writing kind of go hand in hand for me. I'm really hoping that I can maintain a low stress environment with writing. We're gonna try to keep it really simple, really basic, really fun. A lot of you are already following me, but if on the Nano website, but if you're not following me, I'm just Andrea J. Severson. Apparently you do need the period or the full stop after the J. If you can't find me, just put your username in the comments and I will try to look you up and add you myself, but I love having more buddies on there. You can also follow along, as I said, on Instagram and here on YouTube. If you are wanting a very low stakes, low pressure, no stress environment for camp, this is going to be the place for you to be. We're not going for super high word goals unless it's as a one-off, just for fun kind of a thing. We're not being really competitive over here. I'm here to cheer you on in your big goals if you have big goals, but I'm going to be at the back of the race. You know, some of you are going to be at the front of the race, I feel like, and are going to hit the ground running and, you know, burst out of the gates, so to speak. I'm going to be the back of the pack. So if you want to come to the back of the pack and hang out with me, that would be lovely. We're going to be celebrating and cheering each other on for low goals, small progress, daily consistency or near daily consistency, even if it is really small baby steps each day. That's what we're going to be focusing on. I will feel like I have had a successful camp, and I kind of wish, I feel like this is the problem with NaNoWriMo in general, but even for the camps and just the way the website is designed, is it's purely about that word count goal. If I knew more about web design, I'd try to do something on my own website or launch a new website or something, but I wish we could specify like non-quantifiable goals. So I'm kind of doing that here on the channel. I will feel like I've had a successful camp, not if I meet my word goal. I don't really care about meeting my word goal, but if I get to the end of camp and still feel excited about my project, still feel motivated about my project, still feel super creatively energized about my project and the ideas are still coming, that will be a successful camp. If I feel relaxed and rested as much as possible by the end of July, that will be successful. So I think in the next video, we'll talk more about specific goals for Nano, for camp, in terms of the quantifiable and the unquantifiable goals. But I wanted to put something in this video just to kind of clarify and explain that this is going to be the place to be if you would like to participate in Nano or want to stay updated on what's happening in camp, but don't want to be part of that super competitive, super stressed kind of aspect. It's not that anyone, I think, intentionally tries to make it super competitive. I've never gotten that feeling, but internally, my brain will try to make it competitive. And so I'm just acknowledging that my goal is going to be super low and we're not aiming for anything really big and intense. And it's going to be the unquantifiable things. Is that the right word? I really hope it is. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. It's going to be the things that I can't put into something that's easy to track You know, it's going to be like, how happy do I feel while I'm writing? How motivated and energized for my project do I feel? Am I getting enough rest? Am I eating enough? Am I taking enough breaks throughout the day during July? Those are going to be the things that are more important than the actual word goal. So yeah, if you're wanting a low stress nano, and I think a lot of you who are participating in Nano, I think, are on the same page as me. Pun sort of intended. I think a lot of us are kind of at this stage with Nano where we want to participate and we want to be part of the community, but we're tired of burning ourselves out at the end of a Nano month. And we're tired of being really focused and really intense for 30 or 31 days and then not being able to touch our projects for 1 or 2 months after because we're so burned out. It feels like April camp was just yesterday. So some of you, I think, are probably still a little burned out from April, and I don't want to feel burned out. I don't want to burn out. I felt like I burned out a little bit in April because then I kept up a really intense writing schedule in May. So I don't want to do the same. This is going to be the place to be for just really chilled writing vlogs. Maybe I'll try to do some live streams. I say that every Nano and then I never do, but maybe I can swing it this time. But yeah, it's just gonna be about fun. Fun and the joy, the fun and the joy of writing. That is what we're focusing on for July, not anything else. No stress, low pressure, it's all good, it's all fine. There's nothing, I'm excited for Saturday. Saturday can take its time because I'm enjoying this week, but I'm excited for Saturday and I'm excited for July camp to start. Alrighty, it's been an afternoon. It's been a good day. It's been a good day. Just, yeah. It's been a day. I don't know why I'm trying to justify how the day has gone. It's 7 o'clock. So there's that. It's just late and I'm tired and I have been working for the last hour-ish on project stuff for Camp Nano. So to update you on what I've done since I started this vlog on Monday. So yesterday I went over to the house. I had a hair appointment. So I've had my roots done. Spent the afternoon snuggling with the dogs and watching TV with mom. So that was lovely. Did a little bit of Camp Nano prep. Created a temporary book cover to use on the Nano website. I created the official project on the NaNoWriMo website for camp. We'll talk about specific goals in the next vlog. I might still change them. Might still change my goal. So got that done. Did some work on Pinterest just because I saw that I could add a Pinterest board to my Camp Nano project. So I thought I'm gonna need to create a Pinterest board for it eventually. Why not now? I'm just falling back in love with Pinterest in general, just as like a creative space to generate ideas. So I might start creating a Pinterest board part of my just regular routine when I'm starting a new project, because I'm gonna need it down the road anyway. So yeah, so I did some work on that, and then that was kind of it for yesterday. Then today I've had a pretty chill day. I did some more work in Pinterest. I also spent some time on a house hunting, flat hunting website looking at potential properties that my main characters might rent. I was focusing on places for the one character. I'm gonna have a lot of fun looking at stuff for the other character. I'm having fun in general. It's such a minor thing because I usually make changes to the characters' apartments anyway when I write it, but I like looking at a good selection of like what my characters could live in with the budgets that I set for them, to get a general idea of the types of properties that would be within their budget. So that's just a really fun kind of pre-writing world building thing that I've gotten into doing. So yeah, I did a little bit of that, and then I started putting together some videos into a YouTube playlist, a private one just for me to have as the videos that I can write to. So some are music videos and some are London walking tour videos. So I've got a nice selection of those to start with. I know I will add videos as I go, but I at least have something to get me started for the first week for sure. And then I was doing some work in Babisco as well, so doing some character development, starting to feel out my main character, starting to answer some of the character interview questions in Babisco for her. But there's also some like things I still need to figure out. Like, she doesn't have a last name. I don't think I've ever mentioned a last name for her in the previous 4 books. But yeah, I've still got a lot of character development work that I'm doing. I think that's going to be a good chunk of the first week, or maybe even the first half of Camp Nano this month, is going to be just world building and character building. My main male character needs a new name. He has a name, and then I realized that he has the same name as someone who is currently a secondary character in the Independent Heart series, but that character will eventually be a main character in that series. So I don't mind minor overlapping of names, like if secondary characters have the same names, that doesn't bother me as much. But my main heroes, like, no one else should have their name within anywhere of all my series. So yeah, this one character, he needs a new name because I've realized that as much as I love that name, I've already used it, and I can't change it in Independent Hearts because I've already published that character's name in those books, even though he's a minor character right now in those books. So I've still got a lot of that sort of work to do. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for camp. I think because I've got a very different approach this month, and we'll see how that goes. I feel like I get really swept up in the Nano months, whether it's camp or the main event in November. I love the community. I love following other people's progress, but I just get so swept up in it that I feel like I then end up burning out. I got no work done in December or January after Nano in February, in November, after all that I have written in April and May and the first bit of June. I don't think I could chase a really big goal for July. I don't have it in me, and I feel like I'm right on the edge of, like, I'm tired, but I'm not burned out right now, and so I need to like just have a slightly different approach towards writing and be focusing on editing. So I don't think I could get the editing work done that I need to in July if I was chasing a huge word count goal for writing. And since my camp project is something that I don't really need to have a high word count in, like it's something that's not going to be published for like a year and a half at the earliest. There's no rush with this. There's just no point in like stressing myself out. So as I said earlier, this is going to be the place to be if you are looking for no stress, no pressure, just fun, cozy writing vibes. This will be the place to hang out. If you are chasing after a big goal, I love that for you, and I am cheering you on from the back of the pack. I'm happy to support everyone in whatever their goal is, but I feel like there are a lot of people on YouTube and on Instagram getting ready for camp, putting out videos like this one, who are going to be chasing those really big goals, and I feel like there are probably fewer creators like me who are actively talking about chasing small goals and baby steps every day. So I just want to be that person, just waving at you from the back. If you're feeling like, yeah, you can't keep up with the pack up front, just drop back and hang out with me, and I would welcome you back here. It's gonna be nice. We've got cookies and lawn chairs and iced tea and mason jars. So yeah, come hang out with me. Let me know in the comments if you are participating in Nano. We'll talk specific goals in the next video, but just let me know, are you participating in Nano? Are you ready for Nano? Have you finished your prep? I'm not quite finished as I'm filming this, but I still have 2 days before it starts, so I will be ready to start on Saturday. So let me know if you are prepped and ready. You can put prepped and ready in the comments, or you can put cheering you on from the sidelines to let me know if you're participating or not. If you are not participating in Nano, you can let me know what things in July are you just looking forward to in general, whether they're writing related or not writing related. What are you looking forward to in a new month? Because July is still something to look forward to. It's gonna be hot as Hades outside here in Phoenix. It's gonna be like 111 or 110 this weekend. But I'm still looking forward to the Tour de France starting. And I'm looking forward to Speak Now Taylor's version releasing. I'm very excited for new, old Taylor Swift music. So those are two non-writing related things I'm looking forward to in July. So let me know what you are looking forward to in July. Let me know if you're participating in camp. Leave me a tent or camping related emoji, or any emoji that kind of represents what your plans for July are going to be. I think that could be really fun. And yes, give the vlog a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not subscribed, all of that great stuff, and I will see you all very soon in the first vlog for July Camp Nano 2023. Thank you for watching today's vlog. Bye!